Hey, my name is Bruno. I'm one of the co-founders here at Raia, and I wanted to use this quick video to give you an overview of what we're building and also get your feedback. Raia focuses on the SOAR space, or the security, orchestration, automation, and remediation space. More specifically, in the cloud security or cloud operations space. My co-founders and I, we had the opportunity to build products on other startups that heavily relied on cloud infrastructure, as well as we worked on larger organizations that also relied on cloud infrastructure to scale. And the problem was that scaling cloud products on cloud infrastructure brings a few challenges, right? Making sure that your product is reliable and available to your users. As you scale the number of users and services that you're deploying in the cloud, it becomes incredibly complex. You're receiving thousands of alerts every week, every month, and your team spends a lot of time or burns a lot of time trying to identify if these alerts should be looked at or not and how to react to those alerts or not. So your teams get flooded with that, and then they have to spend a whole lot of time trying to decide what to do and how to fix those alerts. This impacts things in different ways, right? The first one is sales. You want to make sure your customers want to make sure that you are SOC certified, the products that you are providing, they are reliable, they're secure, and so on. The other part as well is product reliability, right? From the moment your product starts going down, it's not available, it loses credibility with your users. And we noticed as we scale both on startup environment and larger organization, this was incredibly difficult to do. We looked at many tools, and many of them were extremely expensive, extremely hard to implement, and the only thing that we're getting was basically just more alerts. So we wanted to build something that can help you not only get the alerts, but triage those alerts, let you know what these alerts actually mean, and based on your organizational playbooks, take actually actions that can help your team actually deliver more with less. So what you see in front of you is Raya's dashboard. When you first create your account, the first place you would have to go is the connectors. Connectors let you connect Raya to your source systems, Jira, Okta, AWS, basically where your applications and your data is deployed. So Raya can help you monitor and remediate and automate actions using data and information from these source systems. Once you connect them, there are three different ways that you can interact with Raya. The first one is dashboards. You can build dashboards using natural languages. So if we just switch to edit, in this case, I have a very bad formatted dashboard, but can give you an idea. It's called SOC security. And I built different components in here that says, for example, give me the number of AWS security groups that allow ingress from any IP to port 22 in this region. That's it, right? Raya will interpret that and will know it's connected to AWS and will give you this. Great. We're making it easier for you to build dashboards. But one of the problems with dashboards is that, well, you have this number here. You have two, but what does that mean? Which security groups are you talking about? If we click on drill data, we can say, which security groups allow ingress to port 22? This is where your team would spend naturally a lot of time, right? Let's say you're a big AWS user. Now you have two security groups that allow income to port 22, and you want to find out which ones they are. Here you go. In just a few seconds, you can see those are the two groups. And if you want to keep digging further, you can say, okay, are there any EC2 machines or any containers or services that are using these groups? And you can even go further and ask Raya to say, okay, block the security group. So no more traffic is incoming here. So now you go from just displaying data or an alert to actually finding what the problem is and taking action. These dashboards, you can build them, you can share them with your team, but there is also a marketplace that we are providing to users that you can quickly grab and import into your account and get up and running quickly, such as SOC security, cloud billing monitoring, and so on, that we're shipping soon. Or anyone in your team can build and share with you, or just kind of expose it in a way that you can download, drag and drop here and import. The second way is chat. It's very similar to what I just showed on the dashboard, but now you can ask broader question. Which users are coming on my Okta? How many users do I have on IAM account that don't have MFA enabled? So you can get your quick answer here. So instead of your team having to go through dozens of tools and checking alerts and so on, you can come directly here and chat with Raia, just like you would chat with any team member in your team. The third one is the automation. You can build assistants, right, directly here and say, create new assistant. And the way you can get these assistants to work for you on a daily basis or every minute or every hour you can build workflows that mimic the processes that you have to check in your organization. As an example, I have one called SOC, and within SOC, I have different things. But one of them is AWS SOC 2 compliance. Building those is basically drag and drop. You can drag and drop the connectors that you have enabled and configured. And here you can just use natural language to say to. For example, I have many for AWS, and I'm saying list all EC2 runnings and check that the root volume of each instance is encrypted, for example, right? You review the security group, check the access, and then you are passing that information over to Raia and say, okay, is this SOC compliant or is this not SOC compliant? And I'm doing the same for S3, IAM, RDS, and so on. You can build this for Google, for others, and you can share that with your team. And you can tell Raia, hey, is this SOC 2 compliant or not? And if it's not, send me a message on Slack, or if it's not, create a ticket on Jira, for example. Raia can take actions for you, not only give you an alert to say it's not SOC compliant, but it can drive further actions for you, create a ticket, block a port on AWS, tell a user on Slack. And from the moment you get a Slack message, you can keep on chatting with Raia. So you can dig further and get the information, again, thinking of Raia as a team member. But I know that many times AI can be considered a black box, but not in this case, right? Here you can see everything that is being performed. So the prompts that you are sending and the response that you're going to get from Raia, you can see here soon as the answers, they start coming. You can use this to validate everything that your AI agents are doing from a Raia perspective. Is this the right answer or not? Here's an example, right? And if it's not, you can fine tune this and save. And once you save this, you can have this run on every day or every hour on a schedule basis, or you can even expose this on an external webhook URL. So any other application that you have or service, they can call this, get this triggered, for example, and run this process for you. And as mentioned, you can get all the details here. So those are the three key ways that you can interface with Raia. Other than that, you can see execution history. So everything that happened with the details in here. So you can audit everything. You can see things that are scheduled, so workflows that are scheduled to run. So you can monitor those and change the schedules as required. And you can see audit trails, who did what, who triggered what, and so on. Last but not least, you can see consumption as well from your AI agents, so you can understand what which connectors are being mostly used or not, the number of tokens used or not. But now, at the end of the day, to wrap it up, you're basically building a team member that is going to help you with security orchestration, automation, and remediation for your cloud security and operations. I hope this was helpful, and I'd love to hear your feedback. Thank you very much.